Coach, congratulations on the win. Can you speak a little bit about your team's performance and whether you're happier with what they were able to do over the 90 minutes this week versus last?
Yeah, very happy and very happy about the energy, about how we support each other in a lot of situations. And I said this before the game, I said this after the game. No one expects that we are playing today a perfect game. So, but when you support each other, when you help each other, especially in our defense moments and in our box defending, when you are very clear, then you are able also to win these games with set pieces. And that's very serious, very professional. And that's the reason why I'm very happy that it's a big win for the whole group.
Gary?
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Kyle had his first start since a while. Can you give it about his performance? I thought he looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. So after this long-term injury, then to play first time, and normally when we are talking about the match plan, then before the game, when we are talking about substitutions during the game, and was more the plan, to be honest, that he's only playing 60 minutes or 65 minutes, but then after 60 minutes he came directly to me and said, no, Coach, I want to play until the end. And it was good, and it was the whole time. In his injury during this time, he was very professional, every morning with the whole medical stuff. And you can see this then directly to be in today in our defense behavior, and also sometimes some good runs in our offensive play. So really, really good performance. But in my experience, and I was also sometimes injured in a long term, now it's important also to handle his load, because when you are coming back from a long-term injury, then normally the first 2-3 weeks is top, and then you have to handle it, because that hopefully nothing happened with him.
George?
Coach, congrats on a win.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about Noah. You know, he's been playing tremendous, and he finally got his first goal in the MLS. How does that make you feel? You know, you keep having your faith in him, and he's been playing great.
Yeah, but as a center back, it starts with defense behavior. And I had a lot of individual conversations during the week after our DC United game, and this is what I expect then from our players, especially from the center backs, fullbacks, sixth position. First of all, to do our job in our defense structure and our defense behavior. And when we are talking about his performance since the first game here now in this season, he made good steps, especially in this topic. And then you have to be ready in these set pieces as well, especially as a center back. And this is a big step for him, individual. And when you defend very clear, then normally in a whole season you can then maybe score 4, 5, 6 goals after set pieces. So it's good now that we win like this today with the group, with set pieces, and Noah played very well.
Go to Luca.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. I know you mentioned the importance of set pieces and Noah rising to the occasion as a big way to win the game. But it also seemed that felt a bit lethargic in transition moments and going forward that way in open play. And I was curious if you have anything you saw out there, anything you'd change next week for more of a flow of open play going forward.
No, and I said this on last Thursday in our press conference, and when you have seen the last 4 games of Montreal, it's so difficult to play against them. So in the high press, they have a lot of man-marking situations with the center-back step out against Emil, then one center-back, and they are very physical, then one center-back, the other center-back is then against Chupa. So it's very difficult to find the space, and it's not a typical game maybe like we had in this season when we have a build-up situation. Then maybe you can create 3 against 2, 2 against 1 situation. But in this game, it's necessary to have these deep runs behind the center backs of Montreal, and we had good moments. But sometimes, and this is normal because you had not the best feeling, especially after DC United. But this is normal. Our transition moments was much better than some games before, and that's good. And this is what we need. And next Thursday we can talk about Inter Miami. They are playing on Wednesday against. It's on Wednesday the game. Huh?
Vancouver.
On Wednesday against Vancouver. So yeah, it's clear how we have to defend at the end against Suarez, Messi. But now, please, a little bit time, and then we can talk on Thursday about Inter Miami.
Michael.
Coach, congratulations on the
Thank
win.
you.
I'm just kind of curious, what was your reaction to the first half? You've been commending Montreal since Thursday. You know, you've been today again. You're commending them. Just what were they doing right to keep you guys from getting shots on target and just disrupting your offense?
No, I had in the first half, I would say after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I had also a good feeling. So we spoke in the halftime. We showed 4 sequences from the tactical point, 1 situation in our defense, in our pressing, that we can stay more in a higher position against Kemper with Wiki as a left winger, and then our transition moments that we stay a little bit more wider with our wingers, and in our build-up, the same what I explained right now, to have these counter movements, and this was the main part. This was not now from the emotional side or something like that, because my feeling was that we were in the game also in the first half. And it's clear with a young group and that you don't have now the best feeling directly in the game after this last game against DC United, because it was very tough, especially Sunday and Monday after the game. But the reaction in the game, and I don't want to talk about the reaction of the last game, the reactions when we made mistakes, and this is what we need. And this is, I'm very proud of the guys, how we handle these situations today.
Over here.
Good evening, Coach. Can you just talk about the center back partnership between Sean Ellis and Noah Isla? How important is that partnership for the team? Thank you.
Yeah, today was good. The whole back 4, but we played also with Tim Parker and against Chicago very well. Haki played very well a lot of games for us. Today was the decision because also a little bit from the last season they know each other when it's shifting moments, these situations, to support, to help each other. But it's not only the center backs, what I said, is the whole group, how we support when we lose the second ball directly to have this quick reaction, to run backwards, when we win the second ball directly to run forward. And for sure in these situations, we have to play cleaner in these moments, especially when we have the ball in our transition moments. But this is the next step. Now we have to collect points in our situation. Some injury players are coming back. So, and that's it.
Go to Gary.
Coach, you mentioned that this is relatively a young crew, but we're not talking about game to game, especially after this one. Consistency is what the thing that I'm looking for. Yeah. Is it that much of a challenge for you and your group, trying to string wins together, especially when you're trying to translate what is on the training pitch onto the game itself?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that every coach in this world want to have these consistently every Saturday, every Sunday, to see in the highest quality your performance, and that's a topic for sure. That is what we want to improve, what we have to improve, why we are working so hard every day. And the expectation, and I can understand it, and I said this in my broadcast interview on Thursday in the press conference as well. The expectation is now higher. That's clear, because we were very successful last year, and last season we had, after 10 games. Do you know how many points we had last season after 10 games? No, I gave the question. We had 17 points. But the feeling was a little bit different, like we have now. So now it's 15 points, 2 points less than last season. So, but it's clear, consistently is the main part, and we are working for that. The expectation this year? Yeah, but come on, it's a long season. It's a long season, and I don't want to talk now about the championship, about the final or something like that. And in each competition, we want to be very, very successful, and this is our target. And but it makes no sense end of April to talk about we want to be a champion or something. Like, come on, when I say this is very easy as a head coach to say we want to be a champion, but on Tuesday is the next training session. This is what we have to show. We have to train like a champion every day. That's the first step, and it is a big step when we are doing that. And when we are playing then game by game, especially next month, very tough, this is what we need.
All right, we're going to try for Zoom. Go to Dan Feuerstein on Zoom. I don't think they
Oh, you had a big celebration last week on your birthday. We had this question. We had this question
You guys
5 minutes
might
ago.
have came in late.
Okay, but so. Yeah, okay. So hopefully I answered the same now. He played very well. So and he worked very professional during his injury time. So and yeah, he did it also this season. In his defense behavior, very active. In his offensive behavior, some good moments. So yeah, he played very well.
Voss, I'm going to throw it to you. Don't ask a question that we might have already heard.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. I just wanted to ask you a bit on maybe what you touched on before, and it has to do with the reaction of your team. We've seen every time that the team loses at home, they've come back with a win. That's 3 times in a row that this has happened. Can you just comment on that aspect of your squad and the resilience to just have a short memory and just deliver a performance in the next game?
Yeah, but so when we prepare the next game, normally when we start to talk about the opponent, the next opponent, we start most of the time on Wednesday and about match plan and our defense, offensive transition, but then it's not the topic, okay, we have to show the reaction because we lost the last game or home game or something like that, no. So then clear focus on our next target, next opponent, this is our focus. And yeah, next game, Inter Miami, big game, it's clear, big game there, and but we have to prepare very serious, and then let's talk next Thursday about the match plan and everything else, what we want to do against Inter Miami.